and welcome to Theme Park Worldwide, where today I'm back here at the Thorpe Park Resort to bring you all the first Thorpe Park Fright Nights 2021 construction updates here on Theme Park Worldwide. This year the event will run from the 8th through until the 10th of October, and then every day from the 15th through until the 31st of October 2021. Now this year's Fright Nights event will mark 20 years of fear here at Thorpe Park. 20 years of Fright Nights, can't believe it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing exactly what they've got planned for this year's event. In this video we're going to take a walk around the park, check out some of the construction that's taking place so far, and also as well I'll share my thoughts on this year's Fright Nights lineup. So this year's event is set to feature 3 scare mazes. Along with that there's going to be 4 scared zones, along with a brand new fire and light show and much more in terms of street entertainment. Now before we get into the details of each different attraction, just wanted to start off by saying I'm really pleased that Thorpe Park have brought back some scare zones. Last year I absolutely loved the scare zones that they did here at this park, and I really feel like they add so much to the overall Halloween atmosphere. That's something that's really missing at Alton Towers Scarefest, so I'm very pleased that scare zones are back for 2021 here at Fright Nights. So we'll start off then down here in Old Town by talking about a scare maze that's going to be coming back for Fright Nights this year. It first launched 2 years ago, Fright Nights 2019, and that's Creek Freak Massacre, located over here in the former Loggers Leap Station building and queue line. But yes, this scare maze is very intense, really good theming inside, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this coming back. Full of chainsaws, loads of jump scares, and yeah, that's going to be returning for Fright Nights this year, so I'm looking forward to it. Sounds like the operator's having a great time there on the Rocky Express. But yeah, all the theming of course is still out here at the front, and this has been left in place because of course last year for Fright Nights we actually had a scare zone around this area called Creek Freaks Unchained. Well, that is also going to be back this year, so it's going to be really interesting to see how they set up the queue line and everything for Creek Freak Massacre, and also have the scare zone as well. Unless the layout of it's going to be different, it'll be really interesting just to see. But last year they used like all the kiosk over here as part of the scare zone, all of the seating area was used as well, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that comes together. So yeah, of course, looking forward to that for Fright Nights this year, and yeah, it's just nice to have some scare zones coming back as well. So returning once again to Fright Nights is Platform 15. However, this time it's the end of the line. It's actually going to be the final year for this scare attraction here at Thorpe Park, and I must say I am rather pleased about that. As much as it's had some changes over the years, it's never been one of my favourites, so I'm looking forward to something fresh coming in for next year. But yes, Platform 15 is back. Last year the entrance was in the area there just behind me. You started off by going through the very long tunnel. It was more to batch the groups, to be honest, and then the attraction really started after that. But yeah, don't get me wrong, there were some good jump scares and theming in there, but it was mostly an outdoor scare attraction, and for me outdoor mazes just don't do it anywhere near as much as a good old indoor attraction with some more hidden scares. There was a couple of indoor scenes throughout Platform 15, and I'm sure that'll be the same this year. However, I'm really hoping that you know, they've done a few different changes for this year, some more jump scares just to send it out with a bang. But it is back for this year. I would have liked something new to replace it, but you know, it's going out with a bang, and hopefully next year we'll have something brand new and fresh either in this space or somewhere else around the park to replace that attraction. Right then, so it's time to talk all about a brand new scare maze that's going to be launching at Fright Nights this year. It's set to be known as Trailers, and as far as we know it's going to be located over here in the former Jungle Escape, I'm a Celebrity, whatever you want to call it, building. It's been all sorts of different attractions over the years. It's quite a large building, and some of my fondest memories of this were actually from the Asylum back in the good old days of Fright Nights, where literally you come running out of these doors just here after some awesome scares, and you used to get loads of crowds gathering around the exit just to see people running out of the Asylum. Honestly, it used to be brilliant, but yeah, it's really nice to see this space being used again for a 3rd scare attraction for this year's Fright Nights. Trailers, it sounds really interesting from the description on the website. Sounds like we're going to be making our way through this old kind of cinema with lots of different horror movie classics throughout, so really looking forward to seeing exactly what it's going to be like. Well, I've got to say, it really does sound like Trailers is going to be something very different to what has ever appeared here at Fright Nights before. And I really feel like that's what this event needed for this year, especially with it being 20 years of fear. It really needs freshening up with something brand new. And having a new scare maze like this is going to be brilliant for the event. And with such a different and unique theme, like I say, it sounds like we're going to be making our way through this kind of old cinema with all sorts of things going wrong, movies being brought to life, monsters, clowns, and so much more. Which means there's going to be a lot of different scare opportunities in there. There's a lot of people that are terrified of clowns, but then there's people like myself, you know, clowns don't get to them at all, but then you've got various different zombies and monsters. So it sounds like with this theme, there's going to be a good variety of costumes and scares in there, all coming together to produce Trailers. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like. Just want to say there's been so much hype regarding this new attraction as well, which is great, but it can also mean that, you know, expectations are even higher. The park have been releasing some really good promotional videos on their social media channels that have been great, really enjoyed them. However, that has meant that the bar has been set even higher now because it's been so well produced. It means that Let's Hope the Maze is going to live up to that hype. Along with that, they've actually set up down here in the Angry Birds themed area the Super Spark Sweet Shop. And just over there, they've actually put this sign outside. All the branding for it looks great and definitely relates to this Fright Nights attraction. Maybe this shop is going to feature as part of the scare maze, or we're going to see this Super Sparks kind of branding throughout this cinema. It's going to be very interesting to see, but inside the shop they're selling sweets and all sorts of other goodies, but there's also some theming in there. There's some old VHS tapes with 20 years of fear on, lots of cobwebs in there, and a few other props, including some old school TVs. I'm not talking about your proper flat screen TVs, these are proper old school. And yeah, with these they're actually playing old promotional footage from the park and various other videos. So it does seem like it's all going to tie together for Trailers. Can't quite put my finger on how it's all going to come together, but it's going to be a really unique attraction. It's something brand new, it's a different theme what they're going for, and most importantly it's a brand new scare maze. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's new for Fright Nights this year, 2021, 20 years of fear. It's Trailers and can't wait for it. So I've already spoken about the 3 scare mazes that are going to be coming to Fright Nights this year, along with talking about one of these scare zones. Well, it's now time to talk about another one of those scare zones. Like I say, they really do add so much to the atmosphere of Fright Nights, so it's great to see Thorpe Park bringing back 4 scare zones for this year's events. Now the scare zone that's going to be making its way back to this area of the park will be Amity High versus Thorpe High. Love Bites. It was great last year, very much enjoyed it. They all came together and did a big dance show here at the Amity Speedway, right next to Stealth. Brilliant atmosphere, all the lighting, special effects, the audio, it was pumping round here and had an awesome Fright Nights atmosphere. So I'm really looking forward to that again this year. It does sound like they combined the 2 scare zones into one this year. I really hope that is the case, because last year it just didn't really make sense having the Lycanthropes down at the other side of the park. They were down by Rush and Vortex, and they had to come up here to perform with the guys from Amity. So yeah, it makes much more sense having them all together. And from on the website, it does seem like that is going to be the case. So I'm really hoping it's kind of all been merged together up here at the Amity Speedway. Brilliant scare zone last year, can't wait for it to come back, and that dance party atmosphere was absolutely phenomenal. So I've made my way down to what is my favourite ride here at Thorpe Park. It's the Swarm. Oh, love a good wing coaster. Brilliant ride that opened back in 2012, and last year there was an awesome scare zone around here called the Swarm Invasion. And I'm happy to report that it's back for Fright Nights this year. I'm very much looking forward to it. There was all sorts of aliens round here. You also had Les Coogan round here as well, of course. He was used during the promotional period for the Swarm, telling you that the end is coming. So yeah, really special memories from that period of time. I loved how they incorporated that into the scare zone last year. One thing I'm really hoping with this is that maybe there's a few more props around. I know the area is really well themed anyway, with all the different structures. I mean, you've got the plane just off there to the left, you know, you've got the ambulance just here. But I think it'd be really nice to see them bring in a few more props, and also mainly the lighting, because as much as I loved all the costumes, I think they would have looked a lot better with some red lighting around here. So I'm hoping that this year for this scare zone they've improved all of the lighting around it. But yeah, it was great. I'm really pleased that the Swarm Invasion is coming back for Fright Nights this year. So the fourth and final scare zone for me to talk about is new for 2021, and it's the crows of Morecambe Meadow. This sounds really fascinating because we don't really know where it's going to be located within the park. From looking at the website, it says that you're going to be walking through like a corn section. However, as we know, around Thorpe Park, there isn't a corn maze, so it's going to be very interesting to see where it's going to be and how good the theming is going to be for this. Maybe it's all being produced behind the scenes at the moment to all be brought out just prior to the event. That's what I'm kind of expecting with this. But we know it's going to be featuring the crows. We loved these guys last year. They were so creepy, absolutely terrifying, and they made their way to various different places around the park. So it sounds like they're going to be within their own scare zone this year in one place, which will make it easier to track them down, because we found last year it was really hard to see them sometimes. We came to Fright Nights a good few times, and every time we visited it was really hard to catch them, and when we did, they were moving off to the next location. There was like crosses, little platforms for them around the park. So yeah, I really like the idea how they're going to be grounded into a scare zone, and just what the theming is going to be like, we don't really know at the moment. But yeah, from reading on the website, sounds like there's going to be some sort of corn maze-esque theming that we can expect from this cursed village. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what that's going to be like and where it's going to be within the park. What if 3 scare mazes and 4 scare zones wasn't enough? How about some live entertainment? Because of course you got the stage just here. I imagine this is where the birthday bash show is going to take place that they've announced on the website. Yeah, celebrating 20 years of Fear. Seems like we're going to be joined by some kind of duo who are going to be on here doing some spooky show for us all to enjoy during Fright Nights. However, there's another show that I'm really looking forward to, and that's going to be known as Legacy. So this is one that I'm really looking forward to. Anyone that's watched the channel for a while will know that I love a good evening show, and Legacy, a fire and light display, sounds like it's going to be right up my street. Set to be located down here on the beach area, I believe, so it'll be a really nice location for it, and hopefully people will be able to gather all the way around and get some really nice views of this show. Now in terms of Legacy, if we look at the logo just here, I'll bring it up for you. You can see the 6 different letters on there have all got different fonts, as it actually represents a different Fright Nights attraction from the history of the event, and that's going to be incorporated into Legacy. So I'm really looking forward to that. Love the name, the location, the sound of this. I think it's going to be a really good hit for Fright Nights this year. But yeah, I love a good nighttime show, and this will just tie the event together nicely. Really hope we get some of them old soundtracks, some of the classic Fright Night mazes as well, brought into Legacy. But there we go, that brings us to the end of this Fright Nights construction update. I'm just generally talking about my thoughts on this year's event. I did the same yesterday with Alton Towers Scarefest. I'd say, looking at both of the lineups at the moment, Fright Nights is the one that I'm looking forward to the most, mainly due to Legacy. I think trailers sounds really exciting. Along with that, the Crows Scare Zone I can't wait for. So they're the top 3 things that I'm that excited for. But along with that, seeing what they do with Creep Freak Massacre and the other attractions, I'm very much looking forward to seeing as well. It's only really Platform 15 that I'm not particularly that excited for at the moment, but I'm really hoping that they can kind of up the scares in there for its final year. In general, it sounds like a great event. Of course, the 3 scare mazes, they are up charges on top of admission, and then you've got the scare zones and the shows that are going to be for free included with Fright Nights. And that's another thing that I'm really pleased about. At Scarefest, you have to pay for pretty much everything. The 5 attractions are all paid. At least here, you've got the 4 scare zones and the shows that are all free to enjoy with your admission here to the park. So very much looking forward to it. Check out yesterday's Scarefest video if you haven't already. See the construction for Scarefest 2021, talking about their new addition, a family walk-through attraction, Trick or Treat Town, and also taking a look at everything else what that event's got to offer. And we'll be back here next week for Oktoberfest at Thorpe Park, that we're very much looking forward to returning to. I'll be back here with Charlotte, filming all of Oktoberfest, and we'll see if anything else is going on in regards to that Fright Nights construction as well. But hey, Theme Park Worldwide on YouTube. But thank you very much for joining me, and that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you all in tomorrow's video.